are expectations, and then there are the times that the effort, the intent, and the follow-through exceeds expectations. It was a joy to get to see the two of you organize, work, and affect real change moving forward. And it is our honor to be able to, at this time, recognize that dedication and accomplishment by raising you to the rank of a royal peer, recognition for the amount of service and love you have shown us.
Countess Feilinn, you have successfully reigned in the Eastern Kingdom. And now, we would have the opportunity to raise you to the estate of Rose. But before doing so, we would hear from others.
Their Majesties inviting to their court to bear witness the companions of the Order of the Rose.
We would hear the words, is there a chivalry member who would stand and speak?
Yes, Your Honor. The chivalry speaks to prowess most frequently, and prowess, when applied to the Order of the Rose, is a complex topic, so I'm not going to do that. Instead, let me speak to another knightly virtue, courage, which is also complex, and I think made of three requirements. First, strength, of course, because to stand as the shield for those in need requires interposing oneself between them and those who would do them harm. To put one's self at risk so that others may be safe. And strength is required to do that, because one cannot answer all blows without first having borne them. And second, wisdom. Because to be courageous, one must know what time to stand, must recognize when justice demands it, and must have the insight to know what response is required, both for justice and for those in need. And lastly, courage requires fortitude, because justice will require one stand again and again and again, knowing you are at risk. And I can say, over my years in the society, courage is a virtue called upon more frequently by the Roses than by any of your chivalry. So, Countess Feilinn, thank you for accepting this accolade, because it means you have added your shield to our already fierce contingent of Roses who stand in our defense. And I recognize the sacrifice you are making in doing so. And Your Majesties, I can attest that Countess Feilinn has demonstrated courage again and again and again through the course of her reign, and will in fact strengthen your rank of roses, and it is a good thing you do. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is there a member of the Order of the Laurel that would speak for this candidate?
I would claim that. May I address your comment?
Absolutely.
I am Mistress Ava Woodrose. I feel like I speak on behalf of many archetypes when I say that we like to go deep. We like to take our particular area of interest and spend hours and hours delving into it, figuring out how exactly you can tell that that exemplar is from England, and that one is from the Netherlands, and that one has deeds that clearly indicate that it is from the 15th century, and no, should not be paired with that Celtic knotwork situation. So. We love this. Feilinn is undoubtedly among us archetypes, going deep and enjoying all of the details. This depth of knowledge and the time that it takes to gain it makes it really hard to recognize when those details are not the most important thing. When it is more important to fill the border of your scroll with Pokemon to delight a child than it is to produce a period piece. Or when it is more important for the Queen to be seen wearing a rainbow veil and representing what we value and making sure it's clear that this should be recognized than it is to hit that perfect period garb aesthetic. And this is a very difficult balance because it changes from time to time. The answer isn't always the same. Feilinn walks this balance point beautifully. She clearly loves the arts. She clearly loves the details. But she never loses sight of the fact that the people that make up the society are the most important. She is, of course, a phenomenal peer already, and I commend her.
Thank you. Is there a member of the Order of the Pelican who will speak?
Your Majesties. I am Maeve Inini Kelly, companion of the Order of the Pelican, and this honor would be mine. May I address your populace?
Please.
There is no doubt that a consort of the East serves as inspiration, as the exemplar of courtesy, sometimes as lightning rod, always as a focal point. We often think of the emblem of the order, the pelican in her piety, as the image of self-sacrifice. Service can be like that, it's true. In her time as consort, I've watched Feilinn repeatedly put her kingdom's needs before her own. Being the crown calls for such actions, but we must honor that it is not easy, even though it's necessary. But to focus on self-sacrifice alone is to miss the most important aspect of the pelican in her piety, that the point of service is so that others may flourish. Feilinn herself scooped my words, saying on social media a few days ago, quote, "Part of being in a leadership role is knowing when you're getting a little on the crispy side, making plans to let others take over, and giving them space to succeed." She continued, "The Signet office is stacked with capable people. The office doesn't need my hands in there when we have new folks learning and thriving." End quote. Feilinn has strengthened the kingdom by raising up others so that they have opportunities to serve, to inspire, to lead. That is the heart of Feilinn's service, using her platform so that more can pursue their paths. Your Majesties, it is a good thing you do this step. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a member of the Order of Defense that would speak?
Your Majesties, I would speak on behalf of the Countess from Boston. May I address the populace? Yes. One of the things that is most important to the rapier folks in the East is the idea of community. When you're advocating for a community, it's real easy to think that the best and the only way to do it is just from the jump go as hard as you can and come out swinging and keep swinging. I get that. And that's not always the case. For a lot of people, if they are going to be heard so that they can continue to advocate for communities, they need to fight a lot of that back, and they need to engage people as carefully, as thoughtfully, perhaps as aggressively courteously as they can. Feilinn has done this so many times so that she can continue to be heard when she speaks on behalf of other people. That when she speaks on behalf of other communities to help them. I can think of no better example of someone who cares about community and works to their betterment than this woman. This is a good thing that you do this day.
And lastly, is there a member of the Order of the Rose who will speak?
There is, Your Majesties. My name is Countess Fortune St. Keen, and I would claim that honor. May I address your populace? Feilinn. Not going to cry. Oh, of course I'm on the wrong page. Courtesy in our modern Middle Ages is often described as gentle politeness. And perhaps this describes some roses, but not the ones in the Shire of Quintavia. Or really, the Central region. Or really, in the East. However, what this woman possesses instead is a bone-deep sense of justice. She is a warrior spirit and, luckily for us, far more stubborn than should have been put in one person. Æsa, Feilinn Jossursdottir, may be small for a warrior, but she comes not only armed with the greatest of all weapons, spite, but the second greatest of all weapons, data. And she's not afraid to use it. The warrior path did not begin when that consort's crown went on your head. You were already fighting for the Eastern scribes as signet, armed to the teeth with that data, and more than a few per my last missives. And then you fought alongside His Excellency Matthias to expand the opportunities and access to the Tiger Thrones. Not with that gentle politeness, but with ferocity. And again, so much data. Feilinn takes her love for the kingdom and the SCA, and she sees not only our beauty and our strengths, but also our flaws. And she vows to help us all improve. Feilinn succeeds at the ultimate goal, to leave the SCA better than you found it. And so, Your Majesties, well, she has been our consort from Boston. It is a good thing that you do this day and name her our newest and our wickedest rose of the East. Thank you.
Having heard the words of the peerage, it is true that we will do this now. Roses?
I'm from Boston, too.
Is there a hood?
Who is this made by? Many hands have made this exquisite hood. Huh? Sorry. Purpose of the floor, okay. Is there a medallion? The test begins. Little fingers. Is this a trick? Is this that magician again? You want to see it? Yeah. Oh, this is the one. Oh, here it is. Right here.
Test of all constructs.
The eyes.
It should be known that at the coronation of King Tindal and King Emerson in the 58th year of our society, Æsa feilinn Jossursdottir is awarded the title of Countess and invited to the Order of the Rose for her brave and hard work. As the hand of the master calligrapher draws a beautiful line so as not to disgrace the paper, she is the one who drew a line around the moon so that the moon does not see darkness at the end of the month. Her radiance shines upon the kingdom, her grace uplifts all. May the heavenly sphere always fulfill her wish, time may be her friend, and may the earth be according to her will. Scroll by feilinn Canada, translation by Sarah Alganata Alvarez.
Countess Feilinn, we welcome you into the Order of the Rose. Please greet your fellow roses that are here present.